Hi, I'm Dr. Barker with Integrative Pain and Wellness Center, and Christmas is right around the corner. And there's something that I've been thinking about, and I kind of think about each Christmas season, and it may spur some debate. There's a lot of every parent has to kind of decide what to do around whether or not to tell their kids the truth about Santa Claus. And I grew up believing in Santa Claus, and I don't remember the actual circumstances of me learning the truth of that. But I do remember being raised in that tradition. And I also, with my daughter, who's now 8, my wife and I decided that we were going to also kind of continue that tradition of believing in Santa Claus and pretending the elf on the shelf and the Easter bunny and all these different things. And so if I knew what I know now when I first had my daughter, I would have chosen to do it differently. And let me share with you why. So all of our subconscious beliefs are mostly programmed in prior to age 8 or 9. So during those formative years, we're like little sponges, and all of the events, all the things that happen to us, all the experiences, and all the things that we're taught, and all the things, the model behavior that we see are constantly writing and rewriting our subconscious programming that determine how we are going to emotionally react to things going forward. And so most kids end up finding out that Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and so forth are not real during those formative years, because they either they figure it out on their own or someone else tells them, and that can be like devastating for children. So what happened with our daughter when she was about 5, it was Easter time, and we told her that the Easter Bunny was gonna put out the Easter eggs and all that. And she kind of had figured it out, and she asked my wife and I, like, just blank point, like, is the Easter Bunny real, or is this you guys? And so we told her the truth. And so then she was like, I want to know, is Santa Claus real? Is Elf on the Shelf real? And she asked basically all of it. So that day, like, we just let all the truth come out. And she did cry. She was pretty sad. And what I realize now is, like, you are basically creating this experience that in these formative years that your parents lied to you, and it can create a trust issue between the child and the parent. And the biggest pushback that I hear from parents as to the reason that parents continue this tradition of making up things like Santa Claus and Elf on the Shelf and the Easter Bunny is because they don't want to ruin the magic for their kids. Well, the thing is, knowing the truth about Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny actually for kids does not ruin the magic, because kids are so imaginative. Their brains work in this fantasy realm. They can easily go into make-believe. My daughter could play dolls and make believe with me every single day. She can last much longer at it than I can. And so the first Christmas that we spent after my daughter knew that Santa Claus and Elf on the Shelf were made up, she still had so much fun with it. So she still wanted to hide Elf on the Shelf, and she asked my wife and I if we could still hide it for her. And so we told her, in December 1st we'll start. And so she had Elf on the Shelf out before that, and so she made up her own like Elf on the Shelf scenario, said Elfie was sick, and wrote a big letter, and like made this bed that Elfie was laying in. And she was really excited to prep it and everything. And the next morning I woke up and she was up extra early, which is unusual for her. She was sitting on the couch. She had her elf in the bed next to her, in the make-believe bed next to her. And I was like surprised to see her awake. I said, Tatum, what are you doing awake so early? And she was like, oh my, it must have been the Christmas magic that woke me up. And she was so excited to make believe. She's had zero problems having fun pretending the Elf on the Shelf is real and that Santa Claus is real. She still wrote her letter to Santa Claus about what she wanted. And so you can be honest, you can tell your kids the truth, and they can still make believe and pretend. And it can be just as much fun, but you can save them and you from that moment of despair where they find out that all these things that you've told them wasn't true. And so that, if I could go back and do it again, that's how I would do it differently. So if you have kids that are young and still believe in Santa Claus, or if you're going to have kids, you can kind of make your own decision on how you want to go about presenting these concepts to your children. And I hope this helps. And if you have comments of your own experiences, either when you were a kid, finding this information out, or how your parents dealt with it, or if you as a parent with your kids have experience with this, I would love to hear in your comments how you handled it and the effects of it for you personally and for your kids. So please share or comment and let me know. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, bye.